and things. Okay, archangels, angels, guides, and ascended masters, all those that are of the light and from the light, please come forth and help me to choose your recommended topic. Give us an idea for a topic for the collective to do a reading upon now. I know that means that you're much smarter than me, so that means that you are gathering with the archangels, angels, guides, and ascended masters, and deities, and things. You're gathering with all the spirits and energies connected to anyone from the collective that wind up hearing this reading at some point. Please help any topic or message that is sent to be for the higher and greater good of everyone involved. Of course, we enjoy fun and games as much as the next group, but this is meant ideally to be more than just entertainment. It's meant to be advice and a version of love translated from spirit and given to those that are listening. Thank you so much to our guides, angels, archangels, for the constant support, love, and education you offer us. And please help us to continue to align with you so that we can every day understand more clearly what our lessons and information that we need are to live our best, happiest, healthiest, most joyful life. Please, now we're going to use this Beyond Lemuria Oracle deck created by Izzy Ivy to give us the topic that you would like us to read upon. Okay, please, angels, archangels, guides, ascended masters, give us a suggestion for a collective reading today. Give us an idea of what energies or topic to work with, please, and thank you in advance. I'm very excited to see what happens next. Okay. Card number 32. Let's take a look here. Okay, so we got... What do you mean you stopped the live? I don't know what happened. Okay, so the two cards that fell, one is number 32, Internal Explorer. The other is 27, Furried and Feathered Friends. So Internal Explorer, the divinatory meaning of that card says you are invited to explore the state of flow. This card is also a reminder that you are an infinitely amazing being who can access collective consciousness, especially when you surrender some control to the greater process or get out of your own way. This has definitely been a topic lately for everyone. You have the permission you felt you needed, so go within and explore. Wonderful gifts are waiting for you. And then Furried and Feather Friends, features all of the animals in our life, both in spirit and in physical reality. First of all, it has a lovely little prayer here. It says, may all beings everywhere be happy and free, and may the thoughts, words, and actions of my own life contribute in some way to that happiness and to that freedom for all. That's a Sanskrit prayer. So, how I'm interpreting this based on what I'm looking at and based on what I am hearing from Spirit is we're just going to do a read for the collective that is about what our both our spirit animals and the animals that are literally physically in our life, whether that is a pet or the birds you feed outside in your bird feeder, the deer that walk randomly around your neighborhood, the hawk you see all the time, whatever that might be for you. We're going to, ask and do a reading about, hey, if our animal friends that possess types of wisdom that we don't could give us advice about how to live our best lives, what advice would they give us? So that's going to be the question. If our animal friends in spirit and in physical could give us advice about how to live our best, most peaceful lives, what would they say? Just to show the cards here, the first one that gave us our topic was Internal Explorer. Card number 32. The other one is Furried and Feathered Friends. Number 27. Ooh. Pretty card. So those were our topical advice. And I didn't put the book away. Okay, got this one. And this one. Use the Playful Heart Tarot and the Wandering Star if we need it. Archangels, Angels, Guides, Ascended Masters, and all our animal friends, both physical and in spirit. Well, everyone's in spirit, both physical and non-physical spirits, whether you are our guides or our friends or our neighbors on our planet. Please, we ask for the advice of animals everywhere. If you could give us humans some advice about the best ways to live in order to have a happy, peaceful life that is not resistant to all of the great things that come from non-physical, what would you give us as advice, animal friends? What would you tell us humans we need to be paying attention to or enjoying? What would you tell us, animals? How would you what would you tell us about how to live our best life? Please and thank you. Okay. 3 primaries. Can we have 3 supports from this? Oh, okay, I'm just throwing things. I'm just throwing things for no reason. Three more cards, please, on this topic about advice from our animal friends. Ooh. Why am I just throwing things? This is cute. So the first cards, we have the wheel, and then the support card under that is the Queen of Wands. I'm giggling just because, animals are sort of no nonsense. It's very cute. Because, that's why they live and manifest more strongly than we do. Sometimes we get in their way, I know, but especially our pets, however. So in this particular deck, the wheel, right, talks about, hey, this wheel's going to keep spinning no matter what happens, right? You plant seeds in your life, or literally plant a seed, and by the time it's done, the wheel's done a full revolution, you have a harvest or you have a tree. Nature takes care of stuff, it says, like seasons and the weather. And so they're sort of like, why do you guys have to worry so much about how that happens? It always happens. You guys spend too much time needing to explain how or why it happens, right? You plant a seed, a tree grows. That's what's happened since the beginning of time. Why are you guys wasting so much time analyzing and worrying about the things that universe and God source have had under control since before you guys, changed over from a single cell? So, it's just going to keep happening. And so stop spending so much time thinking about how it happens. Just trust that it does. And similarly, trust that just like that stuff happens in nature, that the positive things that can happen in a person's life, just trust that they're going to happen. Just say, sun comes up every day, which is the same thing. It's the same, it's coming from the same source, right? So instead of getting in your own way and creating all of this energy noise and blocking all of these things and needing to analyze and understand every little aspect of it, just know, the Queen of Wands, right, is about like, it's a fire sign woman, and but she's a queen, so she's mastering that kind of thing, right? um and it talks about being a lot of positive things, right? It says like, your whole being is aglow with a warm, alluring, inviting fire energy. You're all embracing, comforting, and exciting at the same time. You're open, independent, charismatic, confident, creative, not afraid of anything that you are. You're very intelligent. You're visual and you're oral, and you're knowing, you know what you need, you know what you want and how to get it. You live your passion and you follow your passions into ventures that thrive and are beneficial for everyone. You call and bring to yourself the best partners in your life, whether they are your family, your friends, your love interests, your children. Energetically, you have the capacity, you're just born with those abilities, so they're saying the wheel is always turning, the sun is always rising, and you were born with unlimited potential. Stop getting in your own dilly darn way. The reason we do better than you guys at that stuff is we don't overthink it. If we're out and about and being a squirrel, for example, we just go, I'm a squirrel. Look at my tail, it's beautiful because it's a squirrel tail and squirrel tails are beautiful. Look at this nut. I knew it would be here. There's never not a nut. Sometimes there are fewer nuts, but than there are other times, but there are always nuts. I don't have to worry about that. And I know if I worried about it too much, there wouldn't be as many nuts because that'd be me getting in the way of the nut process, the nuts process of growth. So then the next is the relax into not knowing card, which is part of this deck, and it's hovering over the Four of Pentacles. Um, the Four of Pentacles is often about working hard towards a goal, accumulating the resources from working hard, and becoming comfortable, right? So it's saying just relax, just relax. You have the ability to, whether it's a job that is your true passion or not, you have the abilities to work hard. you know your things are working enough in your life, you'll figure out a way. If you're limited physically, you'll figure out a way to work hard and focus on something mentally or spiritually, energetically, um, and the resources will come, right? Stop worrying about the relax into not knowing is stop worrying about how it will happen, when it will happen, who's going to supply that stuff, because the end all answer is the universe is going to supply that stuff. God, source, God is going to supply that stuff. You're spending so much time worrying about when it will happen, how it will happen, what you're doing wrong, and you're generating all this energy when really honestly you're already set up. You have all the things you need. You can work hard when you need to. You know, you can save until you have abundance, and you don't have to worry so much about saving. Realize that you are already in your safe zone, and if you need a safer zone, worst thing you can do is talk to yourself and others about how unsafe where you are is. You can literally be, sort of to a certain degree, perfectly safe in the middle of a very bad area as long as you believe that you are, and trust and know that you are divinely protected. And you can turn a shack in the middle of nowhere into your own version of a mansion. So stop worrying about it. Like they're just saying, live. Life is such a gift, and you guys are overthinking it. Stop. Stop. I have my bird giving me side eye, which I think is funny. Um, because I feel like she's almost like saying, "Well, I could have told you that." Next, we have the Seven of Swords over the Six of Pentacles. Um, Seven of Swords is sort of talks a lot often about lying to yourself or not being your authentic self, but about it being a lie you tell you more than you know what you tell others. So it talks a lot about masking usually too. Um, about like, hey, gosh, if you're pretending to be something you aren't, you're going to get really tired of lies or holding that mask in front of your face that's not really who you are. Um, it's going to get exhausting, and please take a minute and reevaluate your alignment when you are in those situations. If you are having to, they're not talking about like the type of manifesting where you're like, everything's going to be great because I feel it coming. They're talking about when you feel shame and you feel so much shame that you need to lie to even yourself about who you are and present someone in the mirror that you're not because whatever you feel like you are isn't trendy or popular or whatever. They're saying stop abusing yourself in this way and accept who you are. If you feel like there's flaws there, you can totally work on them, but you were born beautiful. We all are. And you need to shake your beautiful squirrel tail and celebrate who you are and what you have. Just naturally given to you, and that's going to change everything. And it doesn't really matter if you're telling other people falsehoods, right? They're saying like it's not like you're going to get big time punished for that or whatever. They're busy, living their lives, even if they're people that really love you. But lying to yourself, that's really sad. You know, you need to really take a look at who you are and start figuring out how to love that person genuinely. Um, And then it's supported by the Six of Pentacles, which is often talking about um, success and like a harvest or some sort of abundance. But it's about working collectively for that, right? So it's usually about you've worked in some sort of grouping to I don't know, earn a promotion, build a business, create a charity, whatever it is, and you guys are making it work, and there's enough to go around too. Um, and it often talks about like you're among friends too. So if you're working really hard, um, it's great. Even teamwork makes the dream work, I guess is what they're sort of saying. And when that's turning up under this sort of accept yourself for who you are card, I'm taking it based on the cards and then also what I'm hearing from spirit to mean the people that are around you know you, truly you. Man, they're on team whoever you are. If your name's Patricia, they're on team Patricia, and um, everything's covered. You have people already that love you, and if you don't see the if you don't if you're not able to recognize that there are people around you that are accepting you for completely who you are, you need to take some time to evaluate that and identify those people, because especially if you're going to take on this daunting task of loving yourself, especially if you've spent a long time lying to yourself about different parts of yourself, you're going to want those people around, those people that either have been in your life a long time and they know fully who you are and they accept and love that person, or if it's someone new in your life but they're very both perceptive and they're in a place of health in themselves to the point where they are good at accepting anyone they encounter for who they are. They're not very judgmental individuals, and they know it's hard, that everything in life can be a challenge, and they're not very judgy. So they're saying, if you feel like you're really struggling with accepting yourself for who you are, number one, look around and notice who is able to do that, both for themselves and for you. Spend more time with that person, because sometimes we sort of have, just like you can have body dysmorphia and sort of see yourself completely differently than anyone else might see you, and usually that means you're seeing yourself in a negative way. They're saying, there's things like that with the soul too, right? And so if you're having a hard time reflecting your best self or seeing your best self really fully, be around the people that can, because they're going to be a mirror for you and reflect um, your own unique beauty and loveliness back to you. And now I've got guides, spirit guides, but they're definitely animal guides, spirits on the other side, saying very loudly, of course we're talking about people, but we're talking about us too. So many of you guys have pets in your life that think that you are the best thing and the best person since sliced bread, right? Because they can see your inner being. They can see through the eyes of source, or through the eyes that everyone has when you're in spirit, when you're in non-physical, and that literally everyone is beautiful, everyone is made up of the love of God's source, and animals can see that part of you at all times. So they're saying, we are the friends that, primarily that you were talking about in this card, lady, you dum dum. We're talking about, look around. Think about how badly we miss you the minute you leave the house. Cat or dog, bird or snake, we notice and we miss you, because we see the true essence of who you are at all times. That's why we love you so, so much, because we know who you really are at your very soul core, and that is beautiful. They're also now sort of saying to me, how come you didn't get that? Because not only is it the Six of Pentacles, which talks about those type of people, but this particular card is literally all animals. They're the birds that love you for who you are. They're the kitties that love you for who you are. They're the bunnies and the babies and the plants that see who you are and love your true essence. They're jumping up on me. Then I pulled three more that were just like additional advice, right? One is the Eight of Swords, which I laughed at, because the Eight of Swords is a card that's a lot about frustration, anxiety, and feeling trapped, but it's always about having trapped yourself. It's usually a person depicted as blindfolded, and they look as if they're tied up. They've usually been tied up by themselves. There are swords everywhere around them that they could bump into, but it's always clear based on the picture that they're the ones that put those swords down themselves and then walked to the center and tied and blindfolded themselves. So it's a self-created type of trap. So again, this is talking about just stop mistreating yourself, stop putting up traps to fall into, so that you have both a combination of having an excuse to not do some of the self-work you need to do, and also just not really even knowing that you need to do self-work and just feeling fearful. A lot of the times when you feel really trapped by something and you really take a minute to examine it, you are the trap. You are both the person that's in captivity and the trap. And then the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles are the last two that were, given for advice. The Queen of Cups is a master of intuition, compassion, and creativity. And so they're just saying, tap into those energies in others, in the universe, in content you see on the internet. Watch a lot about compassion and intuition if you're struggling with this acceptance concept. Be very aware of the type of content you absorb. A lot of us love true crime, we love scary movies and stories and music that's tough, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're really, really working on self-love, you need to surround yourself with that energy and the music you listen to and the content you watch and the books you read, and try not to absorb some of the other garbage, especially when you're in the middle of trying to eliminate some of the excess negativity you feel about yourself. The Queen of Pentacles is always about um, someone who's extremely like a master of how to love others, not just how they want to love others, but seeing each individual as someone different and understanding how they independently recognize love, how they best feel it. And they're, encouraging us to figure these things out about ourselves. Um, this card often also talks a lot about loyalty. And, that's their sort of final comment on all of this is be loyal to yourself above all things. Um, love yourself, um, and don't betray yourself over and over and over again. Yeah, guides are saying, like, even if it's in small ways, we'd love to make self-deprecating jokes and stuff, to get through moments that we feel are difficult, or to talk with people, to explain what we think is wrong about us. And they're saying, especially when you're becoming self-aware and trying to learn love the way animals love and the way Source loves, knock it off. Stop telling those jokes about yourself, and instead, if you want to be funny, you can say, yeah, I can be quirky, but here's something I love about me. Don't be afraid to tell people what you love about yourself. And above all, don't be afraid to tell yourself what you love about yourself. That's their best advice. Okay? They're telling me to shut up now. They're sending their highest regards, these animals that are in spirit. And I feel like even the animals that are in physical right now, because my bird has been listening very intently. She came extremely close to me physically and during this reading and is looking at me like, yup, we love you guys. You need to learn to love yourself. You need to be celebrating life and not be worried so much about how it works or why it works, how you work or why you work. You just do. God loves you. God lives inside of you. So if you really, really, really struggle and you're really, really beating yourself up, the number one thing to do, if you can do nothing else, is remember there's a part of God that lives inside of you. And every time you beat yourself up or treat yourself badly, you're doing that to God. And you're doing that to all of the other people and beings that God lives in, which is everyone. When you abuse yourself, you abuse everyone else. Yeah, they're sending so much love and light. And I'm sending you so much love and light, hugs and kisses. And we're going to kill this live, and I'll be sending links to those that are still wanting to hang out and work on reading and skills and stuff. Thank you guys for listening to this collective reading. I'm trying to ask the timetable. Yeah, they're saying this is a reading for anybody that cares to listen, and no matter when you come upon this reading, listen to the advice animals give. They're better at certain things than we are. All right, talk to everybody soon.